draft, everyone's favorite. Mysterian Wisdom. Banish a card from your hand and copy that card into your deck. And then put a Mysterian Missile and Mysterian Circle into your hand. 3 damage to enemy follower, 1 damage to enemy leader, the missile. And Mysterian Circle summons a Clay Golem and gives it ward. They're all Mysterious cards, but it doesn't matter for rotation. So this card's like a super good Mysterian Knowledge and a ring, the ring card that puts a card back in your deck. Mash into 1. It doesn't like it. The banish put card back in your deck doesn't seem that good, but when you think of like you draw a Riao and you want to put it back in your deck, that's very good. Or you can draw like Oracle, which I don't know if you're playing Oracle, but if you are playing Oracle, you put that back in your deck. So that's an upside to the banish. And then getting a Mysterious Missile and Recircle, both of them, is really nice. It's like drawing 2 really good 2-drops, right? The Mysterious Circle is also a Golem, so if you're playing the Golem legendary spell, it has the potential of making it a 5/5. So can't play it on turn 1, and you can't play it on turn 3 and get like a thing like you can with Mysterious Knowledge, but in long games this has potential of being better. I think it's going to give us an 8 out of 10. Just the 2 cost. Though the 2 cost we've already seen is not bad for Rune, because the upsides kind of outweigh the downside of spending a little bit of tempo. And maybe a 9 out of 10. Next we have Giga Hand Golem, 2 with Fanfare Earthright, put a gain rush and summon a Scrap Golem. Fanfare enhance 7, gain +4/+4. Like, his Earthright ability is not bad. Gain rush and get a Scrap Golem, that's decent for a 2-drop, but he also is eating an Earthright card, and there's way better ways of spending Earthright. So I wouldn't recommend playing him at all. So he would be pretty decent if he comes up in like Take 2 or Open 6, but I wouldn't play him in Constructed. This guy gets a 3 out of 10. Passionate Potioneer, 3 play point 2/3 with Fanfare, select an allied amulet and put a copy of the amulet into your hand, subtract 1 from its cost. So he just copies Earthbait cards or trees, depending on what you're playing. So yeah, like you can copy Cauldron and get another Cauldron in play. So potentially pretty good compared to, like, I don't know. Like, is he better than just like having a 3 play point 2/3 that makes a amulet? Depends on if you already have him in play, right? Yeah, it doesn't seem terrible, but doesn't seem like amazing. Give him a 6 out of 10. There are a few cards that are like want you to be playing amulets that we'll probably see later. Geo Elementalist, 2 play point 2/2. Fanfare, put a Great Tree in your hand. If you have 20 cards less in your deck, gain +2/+2. Really good card for Open 6 and Take 2, just for Arena in general, because your deck starts with 10 less cards. We haven't seen much reason to play trees yet, so I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10 right now. Nothing like wrong about it, just a 2 play point 2/2 with upside. This is the Rune Aether. I'm going to skip ahead to the last effect. Deal 2 damage to a random enemy follower and deal 2 damage to enemy leader. This is guaranteed extra damage at turn 10 and later. Unlike the sword one, which requires you have a storm follower or followers already in play to deal the damage. Also deals damage to enemy like It also deals damage to enemy follower as well, so that could be something that's good, but 2 damage enemy leaders guaranteed to be something. It's also a spell for Runecraft, so that's another upside. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. As Aethers go. Silent Laboratory. We've already seen this as a reprint. It's a 2 play point amulet that randomly summons one of the following: Clay Golem or Zombie. You usually want Clay Golem because there's cards that benefit from having Clay Golem in play. Not many cards that benefit from having a Zombie in play. Actually, no cards that benefits from having Zombie in play. Yeah, it's a 2 play point amulet that's Earth Sigil, and you have to summon Clay Golem. So if you're playing this, you can play the Potioneer and get it back in hand and make it cost 1 less, which is pretty strong. You just replay that for 1 and get a 2/2. Yeah, very, very good 2-drop for Earth Sigil because you don't lose any tempo. You get a 2/2 and Earth Sigil at the same time. Great card. Also, it's nice if you need the Earth Sigil but have a full board, because the Earth Sigil comes out first, not like the other way around with some other cards. Much better than Rabbit Mage, which is being played right now, because Rabbit Mage requires you to not have a amulet in play or Earth Sigil in play already. This one doesn't have that downside. So, great card. Earth Sigil. 8 out of 10? Maybe 2/2. That has potential of being really strong depending on what Earthlight cards you have. Pyromancer. 3 play point 2/3. If an allied amulet is in play, return 1 to your hand and deal 1 damage to all followers. If you return to tree instead, you deal 2 damage instead. It's like a Nova on a body from 1 less, but requires a tree in play. Could be good. If you're seeing a lot of tokens, you might just play them in like an Earthright deck, but doesn't seem very likely, because when people are playing token decks, they usually have 2/2s mixed in, so it doesn't really guarantee killing that much. If you're playing a tree deck, then yeah, you play this guy, but I still haven't seen enough reason to play a tree deck yet over pure Earthright or pure Spell Boost or some kind of mixture. 5 out of 10. I don't see, didn't see like any downside to him, aside from just being a 2/3 for 3. It's like not that bad. Gold Runecraft card. Riley Hydro Shaman. 9 play point 6 1/6 with Storm. Invocation at the start of your turn. If X is at least 7, put this card from your deck into play. When this follower comes into play again, X attack, X equals number of trees come into play this match. So this is your payoff for playing all those trees. It's play 7. It's a lot of trees. But like, even if you draw, it's like not that bad. So maybe if you played like 5 trees, comes a 6/6 with Storm for 9, which is okay. But you have to you want to get that magic number of 7, and then tree becomes insane. Like, but it seems like a hard thing to do. I might be wrong. I might be like, you play all the neutral trees, you play all the rune trees, and she's really consistent. But I can't really see that happening right now. And like a 9 play point 6/6 with Storm is nice, but I don't think it's nice enough to play in Runecraft. I'm gonna give her a 6 out of 6 out of 10. She has potential of being much better. She does look really scary, but I'm just hoping that she doesn't, that invocation is really hard to activate. I'm hoping. And then we have the other gold. Where's the other gold? It should be shown already. Where is it? It's weird. Is on Reddit only. It's weird. So someone give me a link to that while I talk about the legendary card. Wish Wielder, 3 play.22. Fanfare. This card's been played. If you play him without 6 spell boosts, you get one of the following cards. If you spell boost him 6 times, then you get 2. If you spell boost him 12 times, you get 3. And the cards are Cassiopeia, Armalect, Spawn of Abyss, Sylvia, Jiraiya, Demon Lord Ector, and Darkjon. So Cassiopeia, Sylvia, Darkjon are all AoEs, which is really nice for Rune. Nice to have the AoEs. The dragon is a concentration, so 3 play point, draw 2 as a spell is pretty good for spell boost. And then you're playing a lot of spells already, so it's a good chance that he's gonna do a lot of damage on his Fanfare as well. So not that bad. Spawn of Abyss is probably one of the weaker options. Though if you're playing Rune and you get the high roll, you can have like Fire Embraces and play at the same time you're playing Fire Embraces, so you don't lose any tempo and win the game next turn. So he's a potential just winning the game, but also potential of being really clunky. The other cards just all seem have decent playability. Jiraiya is really strong removal. And Demon Lord Ector is Demon Lord Ector. Not much to say. You're not playing a deck that has a lot of things on board usually, so you're not going to really benefit that much from the attack bonus, but he's a really good removal. And you have no other way of spending your shadows in the deck, so you're always going to have all these shadows to spend. So easily just fills the board up and clears. But also you can have like the super high roll and get a bunch of zealots or mage blades and just give them all +2 attack. So there's that too, which is really scary. And like something you can't play around. You can't play around like 15 damage suddenly. And Darkjon does the same thing. I give them +2 attack to your zealots and your mage blades, but you have to evolve the mage blade. Yeah. So pretty crazy. Wish Wielder. For me, when I play him, he's going to be a 1 out of 10, but when my opponent plays him, he's going to be a 10 out of 10. So there's that. Okay, this is the card. Oh yeah. I forgot this. Yeah, I totally whipped this card from my mind. Chaos Wielder. He's Fate's Hand, so he's Fanfare, draw 2 cards, subtract 0 from the cost of this card on spell boost. He also has evolve spell boost cards in hand. I don't know. I think it's too soon to print this guy. Maybe wait until next expansion. I want an expansion where we don't have Rune having Fate's Hand for once. Rune doesn't have to be strong in every expansion. Obviously, he's not just Fate's Hand because he's a follower, not a spell. There's ups and downs to that. The upside is that you do get a 1/2. That's like okay, like it does something. And like if you need that 1/2 to evolve for some reason, you get a spell boost as well. So it just comes a better Fate's Hand if you benefit from that evolve tempo wise. But also worse Fate's Hand when you like are playing maybe a mech rune deck, then you might have room on board for him. You might take up a slot on your board, which isn't great. Especially if you're trying to like a bunch of tokens to play and you don't have room to play your storm cards after playing this guy, which would be unlikely because you'd probably play storm cards instead of just playing him at all. So yeah, but as a not comparing him to Fate's Hand, as a spell boostable 5 cost 1/2 that draws you 2 cards, seems like really good, right? I would say like not much downside to him, aside just being like kind of awkward at 5 and 4 cost. But once you reach 3 cost, then he's already like good enough, like super good already. But when it comes lower than 3, then he's just like insane. So easily like a 10 out of 10. Like maybe Face Hand is like a 12 out of 10. I don't know, but this guy's like just super good for a card, draw card. Oh, yeah, that is also a thing to bring up. I didn't really think about that. You could draw him off of Solomon instead of a Zealot when you're trying to tutor a Zealot with a 0 cost. But I don't know if that's much of a downside to not play him, because when you do that, you still get him, and you still get to play him and draw 2 cards. So yes, you don't get the guaranteed 3 damage, but you also get to draw 2 cards. So not bad. It's not bad enough not to like be that detrimental. Aside from maybe missing lethal. Then we have the last Runecraft card, which is Apex Elemental, 7 playpoint 3/3 with Accelerate 1, return an allied amulet to your hand, and deal 2 damage to enemy follower. If the return card is a tree, then deal 3 damage instead. So it comes like an awkward airband barrage that only targets trees or 2 damage or Earthright, so it's like it's okay. It's a spell when Runecraft costs 1, so I already makes that kind of playable, but you have to be playing amulets as well. And he has Ward, which is good upside. Makes up for him having really terrible stats. The Ward is nice to just kind of roadblock your opponent a little bit. Speed bump. Fanfare if allied amulets are in play. It has the same effect as his Accelerate, except it does it to all enemies instead of 1, which is pretty good. It's like 3 damage to all enemy followers. Decent. But we see much stronger things already, so as of right now, I don't think he really compares to other AoEs. I can't even give him like a 6 out of 10. I don't think he's that good. Though maybe trees are good enough, but I can't see that happening at the moment. Dragoncraft. Dragon Needler, 5 playpoint 4/5. Select enemy follower, deal 3 damage to it. If it's already damage. If it's not damaged, deal 1 damage instead. So this is kind of like comparable to the nerfed Big Knuckle bodyguard. She does have more, like 1+1 more stat than him, and she also does damage instead of just like kill the thing. So that's a upside to Big Knuckle bodyguard. So she's slightly better than him. The only thing is that she doesn't kill something that's full health, which is really bad. It's like really, really bad. Like where Big Knuckle Bodyguard kills something where if it's full health, it's fine, right? It just dies if it has 3 health. This one does not. And she just like looks at it and like does 1 ping. It's like so bad. So bad. So bad. I don't know. I think this card's pretty terrible. Like 4 oh sorry, I want to say 2 out of 10. Would probably not play it ever. Lightning Velociraptor, 2 playpoint 2/2. Put a tree in your hand, a overflow effect for you. Put 2 in your hand instead. Yeah, good enough. Does tree things. 2/2 for 2. 5 out of 10. Early game, good tempo card. It's just a 2/2 for 2. Late game gives you 2 trees instead, which is great for the Dragon Legendary. Dragon Chef is a 3 playpoint 3/3. Fanfare, restore 1 defense to your leader. If an allied amulets in play, restore 3 defense and lead. I think this card's pretty good. If you're playing the trees. Because in the tree deck, you kind of just want to survive, put up a ward, remove opponent's board, heal up. A Dragon Chef is decent for that. So I'm seeing like a 5 out of 10. Like middle of the road. Potentially better, depending how good the tree deck is. Like healing 3 is really nice on a full statted body. Dragon Blader 8 play point 5/5 with Fanfare and Last Word Summon Dragon. That's a lot of stats. Oh, sorry. That's the Crystallize. Because Crystallize 5, Countdown 3, Fanfare and Last Word Summon a Dragon. So when you play him as an amulet, you get a dragon, then 3 turns later you get another dragon. So 5 play points, you get 10/10 worth of stats. But they did not. It's over a few turns, so that's pretty good. Especially if you ramp into it. There's nothing stopping you from ramping into it. And then Fanfare, Summon a Dragon when you play him as a 5/5. So it's 8 play point, 10/10, split between 2 bodies. Easier to AoE down. But still a lot of stats. Something you can ramp into. It's just distribution of the stats isn't very good because 2 5/5s is like pretty like equal distribution. You'd rather have something that's like all the stats are on one thing and then have a bunch of small things that have like ward or something like that. Like a card we've seen before, but still not bad. Give him a 5 out of 10. I think all these dragon cards are just middle of the road except for the needle, which kind of sucks. The Dragon Aether puts a Windblast Dragon in your hand. So that's 5 damage for 6 play points. Really like good for extra reach. So yeah, just potential of having a Windblast Dragon in your hand is good. The extra reach. Especially if you're playing the tree deck, which is just constantly doing damage. That extra reach at the end is going to be really, really nice. So I think this is one of the better ones. I think it's going to be a 7 out of 10. I think it's one of the better Aethers. Having that option for the 6 play point Windblast Dragon for extra reach. Well, they're already playing this card for the trees. Whirlwind, Petra, Dawn, 3 play point, 2/2 with Fanfare. If an allied Great Trees in play, randomly destroy 1 and gain an empty play point orb. Last words, if there are no allied Great Trees in play, summon a Great Tree. Yeah, so nice. He turns Great Trees into a ramp, which is good. Instead of drawing a card, you're ramping, which it could be probably better sometimes. And then last words, he gets you a tree in play as well, so you don't really lose out on that tree. So yeah, great card. 6 out of 10. Like a 3 cost 2/2 that ramps you. You just, the only thing is you're gonna have to have that tree out on turn 2. Bubbleborn Mermaid. Randomly put either Gazelle Mermaid Healer or a Gadget Mermaid in your hand. Really cute thematically. You get like a bunch of mermaids, but the mermaids kind of suck. Giselle's a 1 play point 0/3 that heals you, or heals your, not you. I wish it healed you. It just heals your followers for 2, except for herself. And Gadget Mermaid gains Storm if you have a mecha follower in play. Bubbleborn Mermaid's not a mechana, so yeah, seems pretty bad. She's a 2 play point 2/2, so I can't rate her 1. She's a 2 out of 10. Phoenix Howl. A gold spell. Cost 5. Summon a Star Phoenix and deal 2 damage to all enemy followers. Star Phoenix is a 2/2 with Rush. And last words, give your following effect. Next time you play a spell, put a Star Phoenix in your hand. So it's just a reoccurring 2/2 as long as you're playing spells and amulets. Oh, only spells. Sorry. As long as you're playing spells. So a pretty good board clear. It does like 4 damage to one thing and 2 damage to the rest of them. That's really good at removing a lot of small things. Sometimes it's a big thing you want to remove. You can also evolve the Star Phoenix for extra damage if you really need it. So decent AoE spell for Dragon. Dragon usually needs AoE because supposedly Dragon's downside is they lose tempo when they're ramping, and you have to make up that tempo by playing AoE. And I'd rather see AoE like this than AoE on a big follower that's getting play early. That just seems more balanced to me, and it's like pretty strong, but not overwhelming. Yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. Decent board clear. Of course, not as good other board clear that we have currently. Horrorfrost, Triceratops, 6 play 0.55. If you have a great tree in play, randomly destroy one and destroy an enemy follower. That's really good, right? So you just turn one of your 1 play point trees into a destroy a random enemy follower. And the last word, if you have no tree in play, then summon it, so he does refund you the tree as well, just like the other dinosaur. So yeah, I think he's good. 7 out of 10 for the tree deck. Great card. We have the king of the trees, or for Dragoncraft at least. Verdant, 4 play 0.44. When you evolve, he becomes 6/6 with Bane. Fanfare, put a Shadow Corrosion in your hand. Evolve, reduced the cost of all Shadow Corrosions in your hand by 2. Shadow Corrosion is a 4 play point spell that gives your leader the following effect. At the end of your turn, deal X damage to enemy leader. X equals the number of allied great trees that have been destroyed during this match. This effect is not stackable and lasts for the rest of the match. And if you played another Shadow Corrosion in this game, then destroy a random enemy follower. So the second Shadow Corrosion and third one you would play would act as removal, so there's no, don't lose that much on it. So it does X damage every turn, every end of your turn, which can add up really fast. And we see a lot of these cards the dragon has destroy trees and make trees, so it's going to be really easy to get these trees into play. And then we saw that some of the tree cards have like reach, so I can see this being pretty strong. You just kind of have to play like a defensive Dragoncraft deck where you're just constantly removing stuff and healing, and then this effect will kill the opponent. The only downside of that is that you really focus on drawing this guy and evolving early, and you probably won't have too many other win cons. Yeah, you just have to be able to kill your opponent before they reach their win condition, which might be pretty tough. But if you're combining this with a lot of extra instrumental damage and sword damage, it could be pretty strong. He's also a freaking 4/4 follower with a Bane when he evolves into a 6/6, so it's really annoying to remove. He's a lot like Lashena, I think, in that way, where he's a really annoying follower on the evolve turn with the Bane, and has his win condition attached to him. But like Lashena, it's a slow win condition that requires a lot of setup and can be countered by just dying before you kill your opponent, obviously. Yeah, I think he's an 8 out of 10. I think this card's Shadow Corrosion could easily get out of hand. Like, even if it does like 4 damage each turn, that adds up real quick with other damage you're doing. Alright. Neptune Tide Mistress, 8 play point, 5/5 with ward, summon 2 Megalogoras, Megala Orcas. The Megala Orcas game storm when they're coming to play. So a lot of stats. She's kind of reverse of like Poseidon, where Poseidon gives a ward to the small followers, or they already have ward, I mean. So they protect the big body. This is a big body to protect a small body, so slightly worse. But the small bodies do face damage, which is nice, or act as removal. So it's like pretty good because the ward will protect you. Maybe this extra storm damage will help you in combination with other damage you're doing to help finish off your opponent. And the accelerate 3 to summon a Megalorca, give a storm. That's also really good. That's probably even better sometimes than the 8 drop. So just have something to play on turn 3 to start adding in damage. So you want to get all this incremental damage constantly going as Dragon. And then finish him off with a big storm later. Yeah, I think it's a good card. Just like stat-wise, this is like not too hard to remove right now for the stronger classes. I think she gets like a 7 out of 10. I can't see her being that bad. The Dragon kind of seemed focused around this because like they don't have many other win cons aside from Valdane, really.